What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kayfabe Theory. I'm Gary, and my partner.
And I'm Keith.
All right, and today we are talking about potential storylines coming to Raw and SmackDown after the 2024 WWE Draft. So, Keith, let's go ahead and get started with what we think will probably be one of the bigger things in this video, is Nia Jax is now on SmackDown. This is likely step one to her joining the Bloodline.
That's gonna be something different I would like to see. I'll say for the most part, if she does join them, automatically I'm thinking, oh, she's going for the championship. So she's automatic lock, and she has everything across the board. So I'm trying to figure out how are they gonna go about her as the champion, as a champion of the Bloodline.
I wonder too, because a lot of this I think depends on where the Bloodline storyline is going to go, especially after Backlash, with Solo Sikoa sort of saying, I'm the tribal chief now. I think a lot of this has to do with The Rock as well, as if The Rock is going to somehow run roughshod if he's now out of Roman's corner and backing Solo and MFT, then Nia Jax could kind of be his women's division arm of the final boss's will. You got Solo and Tama running roughshod, trying to get the WWE Championship off of Cody, or whether The Rock's going to do that and they try to get their hands on SmackDown tag titles again, like the Usos had. Then Nia Jax can be the one that's trying to take the WWE Women's Championship and bring it to the Bloodline. First one to do it.
If she does get the championship, I'm envisioning her as the Bloodline version of Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day. That's what I'm envisioning her as. She has the championship, she's throwing weight, she's the boss, she's the leader, and she might not be okay being a subservient type, especially when she's the only one that has the championship amongst everybody. But I think it's going to be a little bit hard to do when you have somebody like The Rock, who's not only the board, he has his own People's Championship. I'm really trying to see if they can possibly play that out all together and see how that meshes well within the Bloodline storyline.
Well, I think that would be one of those things too, because I mean, for years, I mean, the Usos and Roman, and then eventually Solo, they all just kind of rolled together with all the championships. The whole point was that they are going to be the most dominant force in WWE. So that's why it's kind of, I think, Bloodline storyline dependent, because if The Rock sees like a weakness in Roman and thinks he's going to be the one to take over, bring the Bloodline back to greatness, then it's going to require a full takeover of the championships again to be the ones in charge. So again, we're talking the WWE Championship off of Cody, whether the US Championship or the tag titles, and Nia Jax is the only contender, because I don't know if Tamina would come back at all. So it could just be one of those things where it's a group effort to bring the Bloodline back to full force under a new tribal chief / final boss.
I'm trying to think sometime either before or after SummerSlam, because that's the only time I can think that's a good time to do it.
I mean, there's also, because between SummerSlam, there's also the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh, and she can get the Money in the Bank. So,
yeah.
Oh, she could be a contender.
You get Nia Jax coming in with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and just laying waste as a fresh cash in to an injured superstar. I mean, that is just game, set, match Yahtzee right there.
And Bayley's perfect for that. She's literally perfect for that type of scenario. Okay, maybe it's gonna play out like that. Seeing Nia Jax get drafted to SmackDown, it's gonna be something exciting to watch, knowing the fact that her and the Bloodline are gonna be on the same brand. So hopefully there's something get made.
Oh, definitely. I don't see how it's not. This is one that I'm excited for on and off. ILJA Dragunov. Oh boy. You want to talk about a early top King of the Ring choice? I mean, the Czar is one of them. They haven't really, so only a couple people have put in, but if ILJA is part of King of the Ring, out of all the other people that have announced for King of the Ring, if we get to, I think they said it was going to be, the finals were in Saudi Arabia this year. And if we get ILJA and Gunther for the King of the Ring finals, that's going to be, oh man, that's going to be amazing. I think Ilya is going to be thrown. I don't know if he's going to win King of the Ring. I feel like Gunther is a safer bet right now, but either way, I see him at least being a finalist if he ends up in the tournament.
I think Ilya Dragunov, just seeing him on the main roster in general is great because I already seen him on NXT, and to me at that point he did enough, so it's time to move on. So I'm great he got drafted to the main roster, and King of the Ring. I didn't think that far, but hey, why not put one of the hottest draftees into the tournament against one of the most dominant competitors for the Intercontinental Championship inside the tournament for the King of the Ring? Shoot, why not?
Try to become the czar of the ring. Let's give SmackDown a little bit of love, though. Carmelo Hayes, I see this guy probably in a U.S. Championship match within the calendar year.
This year?
I think it's going to depend on who dethrones Logan Paul, because it looks like Carmelo Hayes is still coming over as a heel.
Yes.
He's not getting a reset or anything. So I don't see Carmelo Hayes and Logan Paul being a big match. I mean, that would be a big match, but I feel like it's hard to do a two heel match. Someone's got to be the anti-hero or something. I think Carmelo Hayes could be a prime for just getting a U.S. Championship opportunity. And also with SmackDown, the draft that ruined what I was hoping to see on SmackDown, Baron Corbin got pulled to SmackDown, but earlier in the night, freaking Adam Pearce, man, he pulls Braun Breaker right to Monday Night Raw. Adam Pearce, you personally are responsible for the Wolf Dogs not coming back together on SmackDown. Shame. Shame.
Man, he was hurt. He was hurt, man. Dang, he was hurt to see that.
I mean, he knew it was happening because because Braun got the SmackDown contract, but I mean, those guys they meshed really well on NXT, and I think it was something that could have, and I'm not saying it's never going to happen, but in the immediate future, Adam Pearce, shame.
Oh my god, man! I already knew when I was watching that draft, and so I saw Baron Corbin get drafted. I was like, oh, here we go. This all right. This is gonna happen. Yeah, I already know.
He could just be one of those really dependable guys to go out there and do what he needs to do at the time. Be like, where do you need me to go? Over here and do that? Okay. I'm hoping that sometime we get the Wolf Dogs back and maybe they'll get a main roster championship run. And then speaking of the other half of the Wolf Dogs, Braun Breaker. Now, I know I told you this, but here you go, world. I just want to see this fun thing. It doesn't even have to be anything serious. It can just be a power match to show off how strong Braun is more than anything. But I want to see Braun v. Braun. I want to see Braun Breaker and Braun Strowman go at it. I want to see the power. I want to see the speed and the devastation. Braun v. Braun.
Just want to see two meatheads clash together. That's all you want to see.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you call yourself an entertainment company and you don't put guys with the same name in a match together. One who is the monster among all monsters and the other one who's just a beast, not incarnate.
Commentary's going to be crazy. I already know.
They might not even stay on topic. Braun's probably going to outrun the actual commentary.
For me, I liked Drew McIntyre getting drafted back to Raw. There's so much unfinished business he has with CM Punk, Damian Priest, and matter of fact, we could slide in Seth Rollins. So I already see him feuding with those guys probably all the way up until WrestleMania.
Those four guys, I feel like this has a lot of that like ruthless aggression, even attitude era, where it feels like Monday Night Raw, you've got four and you can add a couple other guys. I got to look over the rest of the roster and the drafts. But you just got a handful of guys that can carry the main event scene for easily the next year.
I think for Drew, yeah, if he has his obsession of getting the World Heavyweight Championship back, then he should immediately go for the championship sometime soon.
Well, I think he's going to try, but I think the problem is that Punk will be in his way until they finally get in the ring and tear each other limb for limb.
get through Punk, and Punk's still injured. Well, I don't know. Not so injured.
He hasn't been wearing that brace as much, so he might be on the up and up. So probably, I figure he'll probably be ready by SummerSlam time. But I mean, I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. And then the women's division, another one. Lyra Valkyria got drafted to Raw. It's a pleasant surprise. With that, you have to think that one of the things she's going to go towards is she's going to be in a match and a feud with Becky Lynch. Whether the Women's World Championship is involved or not is different. But I feel like it would be a challenge issued by Becky. And it would be along the same lines as Becky and Nia Jax, where she was beaten by Lyra, and now that Lyra's on the roster, she has to beat Lyra to prove herself.
So you saying Lyra is going to jump into the feud with Becky?
I don't know about a feud, but I think that there will probably be a match. It could be longer, but I think Becky and Lyra will end up going at it at some point, and it'll probably be by the will of Becky because, again, it's something in her past that she has to correct. Lyra beat her for the NXT Championship. Now she's on the main roster. Now she has to prove that she's better than Lyra, because apparently that's Becky's thing now, is she has to prove that she's better than anybody who's ever beaten her in the past.
So you got Becky and Lyra running it back again. Shoot, since we talking about it, so you might as well go ahead and slide her in with the Queen of the Ring tournament.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Her as part of that tournament might draw some eyes and interest across the board, and she'll go get your girl Tiffy time. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, you know this because we talked about it. I mean, she's not necessarily my girl, but I mean, a girl who calls herself the center of the universe and starts wearing and becomes Queen of the Ring and starts wearing a crown and everything. It's like bacon and eggs for breakfast. I mean, how do you not put them together? Tiffany Stratton becoming Queen of the Ring, because I think she would take that gimmick and run like Forrest Gump with that. But still, I think Lyra would be like a solid show out. I would kind of put her in the same where we put her with ILJA Dragunov, where will she win? There's a good argument for it. Maybe not. It would be a good boost for coming onto the roster.
We should tell this video of what you want to do when we go to SmackDown, but I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for anyone watching, we are planning to go to a SmackDown sometime soon with other people, and we're talking about coordinating Tiffy Time shirts, and we're going to be the Tiffy Time section. So I'm going to do the shameless YouTube plug here. If you want to see us be the Tiffy Time section at SmackDown,
give me a hell yeah!
I'm so reluctant.
I'm gonna get those pictures taken. We're gonna vlog the whole thing. I'm gonna have it framed.
Oh my god!
We can get the t-shirts.
Everything's in me saying not do it.
And signs are a big thing now. We can do signs.
Oh god!
This is where the narrator comes in and goes, "It was at this moment Keith regretted his decision starting a channel with Gary on pro wrestling." All right, we diverted a little bit, but I think we got one more. This could be a fun one we talked about, and this will probably play with how Judgment Day goes. I think that the Final Testament might have a I wouldn't say long feud, but could have a feud with Judgment Day. And the thinking is that with the way Judgment Day's been going, Damian Priest is clearly not happy with anybody in the group. So when they're the group that runs Monday Night Raw, and now they're at their weakest, that Final Testament's going to come in and they're going to pick off the bones to basically be the faction that takes over Monday Night Raw. I think this could open up the ultimate opportunity for Mommy's return, because if Mommy was the glue that was holding the Judgment Day together before they all started bickering in the backseat of the van, then when they're at their weakest, Mommy comes back, she gets the Judgment Day on the same page, and they come on top over the Final Testament in the end.
Overall, I think this is a good storyline to run with. Just on the simple fact, Judgment Day they're not really working out too well as of right now.
Yeah.
But it's a good time for Final Testament to jump in and take advantage of the Judgment Day, in which that makes so much sense in terms of who they have on the tag team, the Authors of Pain. who they got on the tag team that can handle those gargantuans. Who can handle those? Because it's not really believable that Finn Balor and J.D. McDonough can handle them. Damian Priest can jump in with Finn Balor, but problem is he might have to worry about him as being a champion, as the heavyweight champion, and also Karrion Kross might be challenging Damian Priest for his championship in the process. That tag team part, are they believable of beating the Authors of Pain?
Well, I think with that, I think it would end up culminating with a larger match than it would kind of individually. I mean, they might, like, Karrion Kross might have a match with Damian Priest or something. But I think if we're talking this, what we're kind of speculating with this mommy return to reunite the Judgment Day against Final Testament, keep them from falling apart or whatever, I think it would culminate in sort of a large, six-man match, at least, depending on how long Dom's on the shelf. I think it would be a larger match where it would basically, they would try to pick them apart and just destroy all of Judgment Day at one time instead of death by 1,000 cuts. Even though either way feels like it would suit the Final Testament.
Yeah, it would. I'm very excited if they do run the storyline between Judgment Day and the Final Testament.
So you got any last minute thoughts on any other draft picks?
This one, New Cash Republic. I wish there's a fan name for them. I call myself that, but I'm once again also happy for these guys. Excited. I'm tuning in for these guys, and hopefully one day I can see them be a champion.
All right, everybody. Well, that is our summation of some of the storylines we're hoping to see after the WWE Draft between Raw and SmackDown. Let us know down in the comments any agreements, disagreements, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Once again, this is Kayfabe Theory. I'm Gary, and
I'm Keith.
And make sure to also vote on whether we should all be Tiffy time at SmackDown section. Yeah, he thought I forgot about that. But anyways, thanks again for watching, and we will see y'all in the next video.